Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. Hold on. There we go. Gotta make sure you make that a part of every video now. We're gonna call that the VC cheer, since everyone likes to take their drink right before they start their videos. I'm gonna start making sure I do that every time. So there's to the VC. It's me, yours truly. I am here to just kind of post a quick video, do a couple of recent finds, some things that have come in, just kind of a number of different random music things, kind of in general. So I had a couple of things that I was waiting on in the mail, but I guess, being with Christmas and everything, who knows how long that might take. So I thought I'll just go ahead and make a video with the few things that have been going on right now, and I'll take care of that one later. But as you can see, the processing table is kind of filling up with stuff. So I want to kind of share with you what's going on there and all that good stuff. But let me first start off by showing you some additions to the music room itself. And again, any of you that have asked me about, like, where do you get your shelves, where do you get, blah blah blah, one of the things that I always talk about, outside of maybe telling you just where I got it, is that just always kind of keep your eyes open and just always kind of ask. And so there was a friend of mine who, she had mentioned a number of times that her dad worked with wood a lot, did like a lot of fancy things, like very fancy cabinets and furniture and stuff like that. And I was like, well, how difficult? It's probably so easy if he could just make me a couple of just basic boxes, no finishes, no fancy routed edges or anything, but just like plain boxes. Like, what would he charge for that? And it's like such a simple thing. And with the spare wood that was just laying around, he was like, I could do those for free. That would be nothing. So sure enough, I just had the one here, and I just sent that one over, and he just made two more just like it, and it was free of charge. And again, I just kind of asked. And so it was really cool that I got to extend that, because I love it when they're facing front like that. It's just so much easier to browse through your collection and see albums that maybe you forgot you had, as well as it just looks more music store-ish. So I always love that. But I was also able to kind of get all of my hard rock and everything and punk out of here and get it up top. So now I have this entire section that's metal, glam and hair metal, grunge and hard alternative, hard rock, punk and hardcore, which is kind of cool. Then the last section here is autograph records and then soundtracks. So that was one thing that I added to the music room, which was really, really nice. I was very happy about that. But as far as actual music, a few different things going on here. What's playing here in the background, which is kind of an early Christmas gift I got from a friend. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers, One Hot Minute, and this is the red vinyl, because you can see they're clear red. So that was a really cool Christmas gift. The friend that gave it to me, she's a huge music fan as well, and so she kind of knows my love for music, which I think everybody does. It's maybe why I always get vinyl for Christmas or something music related. But the cover is kind of cool too, because you can see there's kind of a 3D cover that moves. You can see her playing the piano there and her head moving. You can see the glare from the flowers. Well, hold on a second. They'll do it there somewhere. The flowers moving, the musical note. Even a little angel over here, like the wings are flapping and her hand is playing the guitar. So really, really kind of a neat thing. So that was a very, very cool Christmas gift, and I was very thankful that she thought of me and got that. And so, let's see, new stuff. Let's just go ahead and jump to the vinyl, and then I'll show you the few other small things I picked up here and there. First of all, we have Nico, this Chelsea Girl. I don't know if you guys know this album or not. It's just kind of some weird stuff, but kind of cool too. One of those people that can't sing, but yet makes an album that just kind of flows to you right type of thing. And this is from 1967, I think is when that came out. I think she has some connection with Hendrix or something, where she dated a number of big name people or something like that. I don't know, but cool album. Definitely make sure you check it out. Was really excited about this one, even though I'm not as fond of this album. This is In This Moment's new album, Blood. And the reason I say I'm not very fond of it is because I believe the bass player, the guitar player, one of the guitar players, and the drummer, I believe. Or maybe it was just two of them. No, I think all three of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they left the band. So they've kind of, reformed, if you will, have a bit of a new sound, and I'm not quite as fond of it as the old In This Moment. But, so yeah, I mean, the new sound, the new direction they're going, not quite as good as the old, but they're still absolutely great. Not to mention, my girl is still there, and then also, what's his name? I'm going brain dead here. One of the lead guitarists, who was the first one I met out of the band. He was a really, really cool guy, just very down to earth, very humble. So yeah, I was just happy this did come out on vinyl. It is on red vinyl. And this is one of the few bands, maybe 2 or 3, that whenever they put a new album out, it's an automatic buy before I hear it, before I even know what's on it. It's just a given. I will always support them. So that's the new In This Moment. This is Coldplay, their album from 2011. This is one I've avoided for the longest time. I mean, I've always liked Coldplay, but just didn't know much about this album. And I was watching TV the other day, and they did some live performance of Coldplay where they performed the song Paradise, and I was like, wow, that's a pretty cool song. So I went to look and see which record it was on, and it was this one. So I went and picked that up. Oh, and I should mention, VC, there's a FYE that's it's a little ways from my place, but it's a town I go to often for work, and I'm really cool friends with the manager there. And sadly enough, they're closing it. It's going out of business. So January is going to be is when they're closing. So they're having a huge sale on everything right now, where all CDs, all new vinyl, and everything is automatically 20% off. Some is a little bit more, and they do have a huge collection of new vinyl still in stock. So if there's any specific things any of you guys are looking for, let me know, and potentially I might be able to hook you up for 20, sometimes even up to 50% off. There's some vinyl I actually got for $1. I'll kind of explain that a little bit later. But that's where I got the Coldplay and the In This Moment. So it was cool to get both of those 20% off. Temptations. This is one of their albums I hadn't really heard before. The Psychedelic Shack. This is from 1970, and it was just kind of their attempt at jumping in on the the whole psychedelic thing that was going at the time. And it did a pretty good job of it too. It was definitely kind of the Motown soul mixed in with some of the psychedelic type stuff. So that was a pretty cool pickup. I'd never heard that album before. Fingerprints, Distinguishing Marks, just some good early 80s stuff. I think this was 1980, and just kind of your basic new wave 80s. This cover is kind of cool too, because the edges are actually perforated there, where you could rip these out and make little cards out of them on both sides. I mean, who'd want to destroy their album cover, but still, I thought that was kind of neat. Mandrill Solid. Was not familiar with this album at all, but when I saw that cover, I mean, how could you not find some interest in that when you're walking through a store, to at least be like, what the heck is that? And just kind of some cool funk, I guess kind of a hit of jazz thrown in there. Just some interesting stuff, so I picked it up and decided to give it a try. So that's pretty good stuff. This is Shalimar, one of my favorites from the 80s. Hewitt was in this band. Jody Watley was a member of this band. I think she was replaced by this girl, or this girl came in after Jody left. What's her name? Delisa Davis or something like that. But this has one of their biggest hits, which was Dancing in the Sheets. But I think this came out in 1984, 85-ish, somewhere right around there. And if you recall, like in 86 or 87, that's when Jody Watley came out with her solo debut of Don't You Want Me and all of that. So I think Jody might have got a better deal out of that. I still cannot understand what the heck this dude is wearing. I mean, that shirt is so made for somebody with breasts. What the heck is he doing? But anyway, that's album artwork for you. Al Jarreau, All Fly Home. I like Al too. He's kind of that, what I refer to as weird jazz. He kind of does his own thing. So he has some pretty cool stuff. Just a nice dollar bin pickup. And then Ready to Die, Notorious BIG. This is the remaster 2 LP set. I mean, it's just Ready to Die, the exact same album. But they did the remaster here, and then they also, I went ahead and pulled this out ahead of time. They did put it on. Hold on one second for the close-up, VC. This kind of yellow marble-ish vinyl. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but anyway, that's what they did. And actually, I like this. Sorry about close-up again. I like the image there in the middle. I almost wish they would have made that the cover. I think that would have been a lot cooler. But anyway, so that's Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. That's a 2 LP set, by the way. Oh, and then this is some VCLT. It's getting ready to go out. And actually, I'll say, LJ, that's coming to you, man. Found something that I think you might like, so send it your way. Let's see, moving right along. Said processing tables, you can see is filling up here with CDs. Very interesting here because, okay, here's a story. My friend I was telling you about, that's also a huge music lover, decided that she hates clutter. Okay, so that's one of the things. She hates clutter. So she decided she's going to buy a new music setup, a new docking station, a new iPod, like, you know, one of those 60 or 80 gig iPods, the whole nine, and was going to shift everything digital, iTunes, iPod, docking station, stereo setup, and just get rid of all the clutter of CDs and everything else. And of course, me, I'm going just the opposite direction. You know, I want more clutter. I want more of the physical music. So we kind of decided that it would make us both really happy if I put all this stuff on her iPod and on her iTunes, you know, like all the stuff in my iTunes, importing a bunch of my different CDs and everything, as well as hers, and then helping her set up all of her stereo stuff. And then she wanted to get rid of all her CDs by giving all those to me. So this is kind of the first wave of going through that process of CDs that it kind of came across. As you can see, it's a number of them here, and this probably isn't even a tenth of the total. But you know, a lot of random stuff that I won't sit here and go through all of it, but everything from, as you can see, Led Zeppelin, and some of these will be doubles for me, but you know, Madonna, The Cure, you know, you got AC/DC, as you can see there, Belle Biv DeVoe, The Smiths, singles, you know, more Smiths there, Bee Gees, PM Dawn, In Vogue, Stone Temple Pilots, Jackson Browne, Robert Palmer, Tribe Called Quest, Psychedelic Furs. I mean, just, you know, Paco there. Just truly a mixture of music. Like I said, her taste is much like mine. It's all over the place, with the exception that she's not a metal fan, actually, but, you know, anyway. So those are a ton of CDs that I have to put into my system and everything else, and, you know, kind of go from there. With that FYE going out of business, too, there's a few other CDs I picked up, which are like these right here, as well as these. Another cool thing they have in the store is anything with an 88 at the end of the price tag, like 788 or 488 or whatever, anything ending in 88 is automatically $1. So I did pick up like Spin Doctor Super Hits for $1, Thin Lizzy, kind of a greatest hits for $1, Slaughter, their greatest hits for $1, this Bare Naked Ladies, a couple of George Michael CDs, just kind of a number of other things too. Even the vinyl that ended in 88 cents was also only $1. So I picked up some really good vinyl too. And actually every single one I picked up was records I already had. So a lot of it is probably going to end up being VCLT. But you know, a lot of stuff I just couldn't pass up. Just have to kind of, you know, play that by ear and see how it goes. So anyway, those are CDs and everything. Few cassettes, not enough to do a cassette community video, so I'll just show these three really quick. Peter Tosh, Legalize It, that's a classic. The Clash, Cut the Crap. and then David Bowie, Starting Point. So those are the 3 CDs that I picked up as well. And last but not least, some nice VCLT came in, and all from Texas too, or both of these from Texas. First was from my man Gary, Mr. Elbow Sausage down in Texas. Sent me these 2 really cool CDs titled Mr. Hall of Fame 1, Mr. Hall of Fame 2, which actually has great titles for these because they are so me. I mean, when you talk about just a mixture of stuff on here, from some of the twangiest country to Lamb of God and kind of everything else. I mean, it's just a huge mixture. Some electric funk and just kind of everything. And he compressed a ton of stuff on these things. So I've listened to both of them. You know, very cool stuff, and I really appreciate that, Gary. I mean, he just sent that over, didn't tell me it was coming or anything. I just popped open my mailbox and boom. So, man, I really, really appreciate that, and thanks for thinking about me. Next one here is from Jeff, also from Texas. Sent me a couple 45s here. Really thoughtful, too, because he sent these in response to the video that I made a while ago when someone did a thread or contest question about your first records or your first CDs, first, so forth. And 2 of the 45s I mentioned that I didn't have, which were my first. And one was Celebration by Kool and the Gang. One of the ones I mentioned, the first records I can remember my mom buying for us specifically. I didn't have a copy of that, so Jeff sent that over, as well as the first record I can ever remember laying my hands on and playing, which I played a million times over and over, Debbie Boone's You Light Up My Life. Now, I don't know what's more brave, me getting out there in front of you guys and telling you how much I love Debbie Boone's You Light Up My Life, or Jeff raising his hand and saying, hey, I have a copy of it, I'm going to put it in the mail to you. But yeah, that's good stuff, man. And Jeff, I really, really appreciate it. I mean, taking the time to watch my videos and actually caring about what I'm talking about in it, and then taking the time to send over, those 2 pieces, especially based on how much they mean to me, man. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so very much. You and Gary, really appreciate it, man. So anyway, that's pretty much the stuff I want to show now. There's a couple of other things, not actual vinyl, but some other things in the music room, but I'll show those later. But one thing I do want to share before I go, considering this is Christmas time, let's kind of stroll through here. At that FYE, something else that I picked up, which I thought was kind of neat, was a new ornament. I was going to have bad lighting over here, which I picked up this Kiss ornament. I think I got that for like $4 or something, which was kind of cool. So I couldn't pass up on that. Not to mention it's kind of, fitting with the rest of the tree and everything, which I showed you in the last video. But, so yeah, got a little more Kiss on the Christmas tree, which is always good. But anyway, there you go, VC. As always, I will be back soon to make another video. As you can see under the tree, I got a little something from Mr. Crayoni, which I'm waiting till Christmas to open up. So I'm sure that's going to be, number 1, probably music related. Number 2, probably 80s music related. Because I know my boy Billy, and some more 12 by 12 packages sitting there. I wonder what those could be. But anyway, as always, VC, great talking to you guys. And if I don't happen to communicate with any of you, prior to next week, make sure you guys have a good Christmas. Make sure you guys are safe, and can't wait to see what you guys pick up over the holidays. And take care of yourselves, VC. We'll talk to you soon.